Hey guys, it's just on the case. So, I was told to do a do over, and I am more than happy to do that for you guys. The do over is for Kenneka Jenkins and Madeline Mcann. So, the updates for Kenneka Jenkins are um, there's a lawyer, and he is well known on television in Detroit. He's from Detroit, and he's well known on television. If you guys go to Kenneka 2018 update, you will see him by the mom. She has like a wrap on her head, and they're actually sitting in front of a bunch of people, and they're actually talking about Kenneka and going back through the case of what the lawyer thinks is not justice. I actually believe the lawyer. I am on the same page as him. Um, as far as Kenneka, if you go back and you've been following this story like I have from the very beginning, because if you go all the way back to my first video, I've been with YouTube since 2013. However, I did not make my first video until I found out about Kenneka Jenkins, and it hit me, here. It wasn't because other people was doing the video. It was because I felt like she really needed someone to speak for her, and her mother needed us, to speak for her. And then everybody got together and everybody was giving their opinions, voicing how they felt. And we made a lot of noise, and people don't realize that social media can make a lot of noise on things and it can get things done. Not saying it was just us, but just saying, if you look through my videos, I never stopped talking about Kenneka. I always talked about her somewhere, somehow. So what I'm saying now is the part that really got to me about the Kenneka Jenkins case was they did not properly investigate this case from the beginning. So the lawyer is basically saying they did not put up any yellow tape, which is the caution tape they put up for any little thing, even big things, but they put this up for little teeny weeny things. You would have thought when Kenneka died and she was found that they would have put up that caution tape at that hotel to stop guests from coming in and out and actually remove guests. But they did not. They allowed the guests to come in and out of that hotel knowing that there was a girl back there dead in a freezer in an area that was supposed to be locked off from the public. The public was supposed to be banned from this area, but that is not what happened. And that is only because of carelessness. Because a security guard, once they get used, and this is just anybody, once some people get used to their job, they start slacking, they don't care, they just half doing stuff. And then when it's time to get in trouble for it and something bad happens, nobody wants to take the fall for it. Nobody wants to come out and say, yeah, I was the last person and I didn't do, you know, I didn't take precautions like I was supposed to. I didn't do my daily rounds to make sure that everything was locked up and everything was taken care of. And that might be how she actually got down there. Nobody's came forth. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to take the blame. Nobody's going to be grown and take the blame for it. So this lawyer has done more than anybody on this case, that I think, because she had people that actually march and do things, and black power this and black power that, which is nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that I was told, oh, this story not gonna last that long. Kenneka gonna be talked about because she's hot in the public eye right now. So she's gonna be talked about. But after a while, nobody's gonna be talking about her anymore. You know? So I was like, that's not true. That's not gonna happen. It did. It did for a little while. But mommy, and I'm talking about Miss Teresa Martin, is bringing this back out because she is not going to be silenced. You're not going to silence her, and she's lost a child. And I thumbs up to her, because if it was my child, I would have never stopped, period. And I would have still had people out there at that hotel. Let's get to the bottom of this, and why are people still staying out here? Why didn't y'all block this area off? Why didn't y'all turn the lights out here until we figured out where, what type of evidence we can come up with in these hallways? This girl walked these hallways too much for there not to be any evidence. But guess what? The case was tampered with. So how can you close a case that was tampered with? The evidence was from the beginning. People did not stop running those halls, did not stop walking those halls. There could have been stuff on the floor anywhere that the police could have picked up that could have led to how she ended up in there besides an autopsy. People go and party all the time. And I'm not telling you guys I know exactly what happened to her, but I'm just saying there is something about this story that is still just not right. And that's why I continue to follow it. See, I get vibes off things, and I can tell when something is right and it sounds right, and I can tell when something just isn't right. And when you are like that, you can't just let something go and just be like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. I'm not that type of person. I'm the type of person like, no. Now, not being funny, but just saying, if things were the other way around, that wouldn't have happened like that. It would have been caution tape everywhere. The mother would have never got the police called on her. And to be exact, if you come in a hotel and you're looking for a child, and you tell the hotel that people from the hotel have called you and told you that your daughter was in this hotel and they can't find her, and that was the last place she was, why would I go to the hotel and tell you this and then you call the cops on me? That was another thing that the lawyer brought up, and that's why I'm bringing this up to you guys. You guys wanted me to do a do-over, and that's what I'm doing for you guys. Um, you know, and this lawyer seems very serious to me. And he also brought up that Teresa's brother, while they were talking to the security guard or whatever, Teresa's brother went back there and took pictures of the freezer, and guess what was on the freezer? A lock from the outside, which tells us that two things could have happened. Number one, kids were being nosy, or someone was being nosy and saw Kenneka up and down that hall. And you're not going to tell me that those security guards, once again, because I have no problem going back to the Kenneka Jenkins story. You hear other people like, yeah, we already talked about this. I'm not finna go back here. I'm always. You want me to do a flashback? A flashback? Let's go back. Kenneka Jenkins walked that hallway too many hours. Over 2 hours. You cannot tell me that nobody did not see her. You cannot tell me that those videos were not edited. Now, you got people on YouTube not judging nobody. None of that. I'm just saying you do have people on YouTube that are carrying things a little too far, and I don't see what they see. But I can tell you, most people on YouTube are correct about the videos being edited, except I don't see these people that they see in the videos. I can't necessarily say or rule out that there were people in there or not. I'm not sure about that. But what I can tell you is those videos were edited. Are you telling me this girl walked these hallways all by herself for hours and hours and there was nobody else in the hotel? I don't believe that. I believe somebody might have saw her but didn't realize that she needed help, and they were edited out the video so they wouldn't know that they were actually in the video and could be a witness to the case. Come on, man. I'm really serious. You guys, You have to look at it the way I'm looking at it. That doesn't make any sense that a girl walked the halls. Now, understand the bottom area, yes, I understand she walked that area by herself and nobody was there. But what about this time she got off the elevator and she was walking? You telling me on all these floors no one saw her? I just don't get it. I don't believe it. And I believe that they were edited out the video so they could not become witnesses and don't remember who they walked past. Because, see, people tend to use psychology on other people. If I'm walking down a hotel hall and my mind is on a certain thing and I just got there and I'm trying to relax and stuff, that's what I came to do. I'm not going, or I have a business meeting, that's what I'm going to do. I didn't come to check out the people there, so I'm really not going to be very aware of what you had on or what you look like. I might can pick you out and say I saw you, but I definitely won't be able to, I might not say I saw you because I might not recall you. And see, these people are smart. They sat down, they know this. Oh, these people are in this video. They're not even going to remember this girl. We're going to wipe them out. That way they can't even be witnesses to the case. People don't think about this type of stuff. This type of stuff is happening. And then not only that, that lock on the freezer from the outside tells me that either somebody accidentally did not know that girl was in that freezer. From what the lawyer said, if you listen, you will hear this same exact thing. And we've said this time after time, but we did not know that there was a lock on the outside. However, we did know that it'll lock and you can push the emergency exit button on the inside to get out. We did know that. However, people were saying, like her sister, I don't believe my sister went in there by herself. She was drunk and intoxicated, and you saw her stumbling. How could she open that freezer door by herself? There's no way. And that girl been with that girl since she was little. So that right there is telltale sign to me that something's not right. Period. Too. Then you have to look at it from this point too. Somebody could have accidentally locked her in there, not knowing she was in there. Someone could have been looking for her and they found her in there and she was half frozen already and they just locked it so she couldn't tell where she was, how she got in there to stay the hotel. You gotta look at it from all points of view. She might have did or might have was in there. Now they keep hollering rape, 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 rape. I have no idea if she was raped or not. And it looks like to me, if you see my hair straight and um guarantee you if I get into something with somebody, it's not gonna look like this anymore. It's not. That's just how it is. If a female gets into a fight or something or a struggle, you're not gonna come out like this. You're gonna come out like Kenneka. Like I'm trying to fight for my life hairstyle. That's what that was. Facial expression was I'm not playing no games. I'm like leave me alone facial expression. Like to the death. Look at her facial expression. Her mama looked at her and said, my daughter fought. I can look at her face and tell something was not right and something was wrong. And if a mother tells you that, the first thing you need to do is look at the case again. They didn't do that. So, third, but not last, someone might have been playing a prank on Kenneka and put her in the freezer, locked the freezer, thought it was funny, and left her there and forgot. Or either just didn't come back for her. Didn't feel like it would freeze that fast or whatever they thought. Someone could have raped her and done something to her and left her in there to die, but trying to preserve her body for her mom. I'm just saying there's no way in the world, no, that she walked those halls and nobody saw her. The security guards didn't see her. No one saw her. I beg the difference. I believe the security guards, at least one, saw her on the tapes and they checked it out and they did something maybe that they weren't supposed to do. These are just things for you guys to think about. Anyway, this lawyer is going to revisit it. He's a very good lawyer and he knows exactly what he's doing. Anytime you hear a lawyer off TV investigating, you better watch out. And that's what I'm waiting on. So I've been looking for update you guys on that. And I'm going to keep you updated with as much information as I can on Kenneka Jenkins' case. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to hop on over to the Mcanns. This is about Madeline Mcann, and you guys need to check this story out because this story has been going on and on too. The parents have over and over again said they have nothing to do with their daughter's death. My whole problem with this story, why would you leave your child in a condo or apartment? It doesn't matter, even a hotel, it doesn't matter about any of those details. The details that matter is how did she end up missing. Why can't we find a body? Why can't we find a recent picture of her, maybe because you think she's still alive? I don't think she's alive. I think she was dead the night that they were looking for her. And that's just honest. I feel like this. Madeline died at the hands of her parents. That's my opinion. The reason why I feel this way is because this is something that has been building up inside of me watching this case. See, when I look at stuff, I don't just flip through and give you guys a story. I'm the type of person, I go through and I see what needs to be said and pull out details. The details in this case is the cadaver dogs, if I'm saying that correctly. These dogs were not just any kind of cadaver dogs. These dogs actually won awards. They got trained. And like I told you guys, we can smell orange juice. The dogs can smell the ingredients in the orange juice and whatever under it. So if they tell you they're cadaver dogs, what that means is these dogs can smell blood, fresh blood, whatever kind of bodily fluids, anything dealing with a human being, they are dead on with it. These dogs are trained to bark when they see blood or smell blood, bark when they smell or see bodily fluids, and they do it. So you're telling me these smart dogs that have been doing this all of this time and has been cracking murder cases and solving stuff are stupid now because you don't like the fact that they were in your stuff and they found stuff. However, let me tell you this. The most guiltiest party to me is the mother. Want to know why? Because as a mother, I'm speaking from experience, 10-year-old. There is no way I'm going to go down the street. I don't care if it's the house next door. I'm not leaving my child in the house by himself and say I checked on him, but my neighbors are saying above me that he cried for almost 2 hours, meaning nobody came. So you missed some time and you want us to feel sorry for you of your child going missing. No, I feel sorry for your child with the type of parents that child had. So you're telling me wine and a little bit of food and company is more important than your child in this foreign country that you're not from by themselves with the door open. Now, it's either that you just didn't care that night or whenever, the whole trip. Maybe they were just a little too much for you and you only wanted two kids and you got three and you realize how motherhood really is and you got a little frustrated with Madeline because she wouldn't go to sleep, and then you guys on top of that you're doctors, so you know a little bit about cadaver dogs too. And for Mr. Mcann to say, ask the dogs, if that was important to you, and she's so important, and you're building all these fundraisers and getting all this money to pay your rent and stuff and pay your house off. Madeline's still not found. We're no further than what we were before with her. But you guys paid off your house. Your daughter's still missing. And you're ready to down some dogs that have been working hard most of their life and helping people crack cases. But when it comes to you guys and the dogs find bodily fluids behind the couch, bodily fluids inside your closet on like the second or third little porch area in the closet, you guys feel like the dogs don't know what they're doing. Oh, you don't trust them all of a sudden. And then the lady asks you, Mr. Mcann, how did you feel about the cadaver dogs? Oh, you get up out of the interview and you stand up because you're upset. What about these dogs? These people are trying to help you look for your child. These dogs were for you, to help you. This man thought he was helping. Instead, you got an attitude because they actually found bodily fluids in the back of your trunk. I'm sorry, and I'm just saying what I know, and I'm not being racist. I am an African American woman with European descent, meaning my granddaddy, not my great grandfather, my granddaddy was a white man. So I'm going to speak from both points of view. And what I'm saying is, if that was a black person or any other race of a minority, not being funny, guys, because I love everybody. But if I got pulled over because my shade is a little bit not where it's supposed to be, and they would have been looking for my child, and they got in the back of my car and found some bodily fluids and said the dog said it's there, and these dogs smart, honey, they would have not wasted any time to get me to jail to answer some questions and then put me in a holding cell for murder of my child. And that's just the bottom line. But because these people are doctors and both of them are so just in the community and world known and all this stuff, and they got big friends here and there, oh, they get off. But Madeline still nowhere to be found. Don't even have a body. Funny part about the car was not rented until days and days, 28 days later, after they could not find Madeline. What does that tell you? If they found bodily fluids behind the couch, they laid her back there when she died, they stuffed her in the closet when people were coming around, they finally probably moved her to the freezer, and then they're talking about this little black bag suitcase thing where it was actually hinted for bodily fluids by the cadaver dogs. She was placed in there. And Madeline was very little, so I'm pretty sure she fit in that bag. Then they're asking, where's the little black bag? Little black bag never showed up. But parents get very offended by these dogs finding this stuff. But you still have not explained to the public, nor have you explained to investigators why people would accuse you of having bodily fluids and blood in your little holiday, a condo, whatever you want to call it, and in your car. Usually in an investigation, they leave no stone unturned. And what I've been telling you guys is just look at Casey Anthony and Kaylee's story. Casey got off so quick. Everybody knows she murdered her daughter. I mean, who the hell, sorry for my language, but who keeps lying? Okay, you lied about your job. You say you work for Disney, and then they find out you didn't even work for Disney. You didn't work there. You took them all the way there for them people to tell that you don't work there. Then You say that Zanny the nanny had her. Come to find out, you're using somebody's name that you found on a list, and that lady's whole character is messed up because of you and life story, because of you accusing her of something and she don't even know who you are. But you still get off on for murder, and they know nobody else had nothing to do with it. When they found Kaylee, stuff from her crime scene came from the house. So you're telling me Zanny the nanny, who does not exist, went into your house, got a sticker and some tape and put it on Kaylee's mouth, got a blanket from Kaylee's crib and put it around her, and then dropped her off a couple feet away from the house? No, Casey did that, and that's my opinion. But we all know what the real story is. The real story. Let's just not even worry about it. We know what the truth is. And JonBenet Ramsey is another one. A 2-page ransom note. What man do you know that will write 2 pages trying to get away with murder in somebody else's home? By the time you write that, you're going to get caught at that person's house. Then the fingerprint people that checks writing realize that the writing perfectly matches the mother's. So we don't know what happened in that case, what really actually killed JonBenet, but it's a family thing. Someone knows what happened to her and they covered it up for the rest of the family. Because they're prominent people, they know a lot of people, they are high in the area, they got off. They went on a trip to get away and wasn't even questioned until they got back. By that time, I got a whole story for you of what happened because you gave me time, and then you're letting these people walk through their house. You let the dad find her. He didn't find her. He knew where she was the whole time. And the same thing with the Mcanns and the JonBenet Ramsey case. It's so similar that the window was open on the JonBenet Ramsey case, but they have no fingerprints that they could collect that match or came up in the system correctly, but the window was open. People are making little projects on trying to see if they can get in and out the window. New people are living in that JonBenet Ramsey house. They that an authorities come to the house, probably paying them so they can reenact the whole thing, and it still don't make no sense. Then you got her brother up there going on Dr. Phil's show, smiling, looking crazy. It's just all too weird. All this stuff is calculating. Then the Mcanns do the same thing JonBenet Ramsey parents did. They open the window and say somebody was in the window, but not one friend collaborated that story. Nobody said that's what, yeah. They were the only ones that collaborated the window. And when police fingerprinted it, there was no fingerprints there but the mother's. It's funny how the mother's clothes, the cadaver dog had found some stuff on. The Everything was pointed at mom. The dad, I don't know what he might have done. Maybe he threw his clothes away, but mom was not very smart. She left her pants that she wore whenever that girl got killed. She left them laying around and the dog smelt it. And then on top of that, dad's clothes, they went right past, but mom's, they did not. So any dummy out here who believes that these dogs are not smart enough to figure this out, I'm telling you, I have dogs, as you guys know. You've heard them, and they actually messed up my last video. And I apologize about that. That's why I'm doing this one, and it's a little bit longer so you guys can get a little bit more feed because of that. And I'm just saying, those dogs are smart. If a dog can go in the woods and you're just walking away and walking and walking, and all you hear was a little similar things, but you don't see no harm or nothing, and a dog stops you in their tracks and stops you and won't go any further, that tells you their hearing is better than ours, their scents are better than ours. So why wouldn't you trust a dog, especially when it's been trained to do what they do, especially one has solved murder cases? Come on now. They said these dogs solve murder cases. I need y'all to go and look these dogs up. They have. I went and looked myself. Yes, they have solved murder cases. Yes. Took the people right to the predator. That's why I'm telling you, there's no way that I would walk off if these people told me that my dog found something dealing with my child, if I'm so for my child and I want to find my child so bad. Even if it looked like it was me and I know it won't me, I'm going to ask you, how can you help me since you found this stuff in my home to figure out where my child was? Can you get these dogs to walk down here with this bodily smell scent or something and see if they can track where my child is, since we found bodily fluids that's telling me it's not looking too good for me and my child? I need to know something. Instead, these people get up and have attitudes walking out talking crap. Ask the dogs. No, we asking you because you're supposed to be the parent and y'all sitting up here shaking heads at each other. Yeah, 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 my ass. You guys are wrong. You guys actually, I'm sorry for cussing, guys, but children, children are all we have at the end of the day when we're gone. That is our legacy. And for these people to take the precious gift that God gave them and just throw it away and swear on everything that they're doing everything they can to look for this little girl. Oh, you're doing everything you can to pay for your mortgage and you're just flying and y'all laughing and stuff. It's not funny because nobody has, we don't know where she at. We can't even, oh, maybe we found a little bit here. No, y'all did something to her, but y'all waited. And that's why the police got thrown off. They should have stayed in that damn house and they didn't. Now, she's missing, never found, never seen again on the face of the earth. But they still looking for little Mcann. And then her mom was gonna write a book. I need y'all to go check this book out. I need y'all to check this book out. Check this book out, y'all. Madeline Mcann. Check it out. Mama wrote a book. Miss Mcann. If you see Miss Mcann name on it, she wrote the book. And there's some weird stuff in there. Let me tell you about this just to give you some little bit more juice. Let me tell you this. Guys, I was reading the book. And I tell you, when I investigate a story, I dig deep. Do y'all know this woman said, I was thinking about my child, and I was thinking about her perfect genitals and how she was like seeing kind of like they were ripped up and destroyed. Excuse me? What normal parent do you know that would write a book and talk about their child's genital areas unless they did something to that child and they're trying to get it, ease their mind, get off their mind? So they're writing a book, but they're speaking in third person when they're the person who did it. Now, Miss Natalie Holloway lost her life in Aruba. And unfortunately, the man that did it to her, he has not been charged for her murder because they can't find a body and can't connect him to it. But he's been running his mouth, and we all know he did it. And then he did actually get karma back because he was dating some chick, and they were in the hotel room together. And then him and this chick were supposed to be dating after Natalie Holloway disappeared. And all of a sudden, he disappears from the hotel. He's bringing 2 cups of coffee in there, and then he disappears. And then When they go and clean the room after he leaves, he checks out, but the girl doesn't check out. And the girl is found dead, and then he goes to jail, and then he goes to prison for it. I think Miss Holloway is just happy that this man just basically got what he was supposed to get. And I totally understand it. Because she has been, like I said, when I follow cases, I follow them. Miss Holloway has a show. It's called Disappeared. And ever since Natalie was missing, Miss Holloway's been on this show. And she's been helping people with missing relatives, missing people that have not been found because Natalie Holloway's body was never found. But her friends say that she got into the car with this guy after the club, and they were supposed to be on the beach from what he says, and she was never seen again, and she never came back to the room to pack her things. So, with that being said, I said this to say this. Miss Holloway wrote a book about her daughter. Nowhere in her book does it says, I just wonder what happened to her perfect genitals. They were probably ripped up and destroyed, or whatever Miss Mcann said. That is the most psychoist stuff I ever heard in my life. Dealing with a child that is missing and you know the police is looking for. It's kind of like a ha-ha moment. Like, ha-ha, I can say this because I've been found not guilty, but I know I did it, and I'm just wanting to let you guys know I got away with it. And like one lady said, they never talked about, oh, she's a smart little girl. Oh, she could do this. She loved to draw. When she grew up, she said she wanted to be this. Because, at 5 and 4, that's when they say, I want to be a police officer. No, they kept saying she's so pretty. She was just perfect. Her head was perfectly round. What kind of mess is that? To talk about a 5-year-old, 4-year-old girl. Birthday right around the corner. Now she's missing, and you guys are just sitting back. Like, come on, man. Somebody's got to come to justice. And I'm just not going to let these cases die. Not going to happen. So I came back, guys. I was a little upset this time. Sorry if I got carried away. I sometimes do. When I think about just the bull crap that people try to cover up. It's just like, I don't even want to be a police officer. Because that would be a too low for me. I would just have to be like somebody that can get up there and just not care what other people think and say, look, you got bodily fluids in your home. You got blood stains on the floor. You got cadaver dogs seeing blood stains and stuff. You're going to have to come in. You don't get a pass. Now, you need to explain to me why these cadaver dogs that have been nominated for awards have cracked cases, found bodily fluids in your home, on your clothes, and in the back of your car. And there's a black bag that's missing, and we want to know where it is. Well, I think that black bag was packed away with that little girl. And I feel like not only that, people are just, they do what they want for certain people. And it's not about race. It's about, I'm a doctor. I know a lot of people. I know higher people that can get me out of trouble or they can speak on my behalf. And that's all it takes. And somebody's off. And the police get so carried away. They are looking in the right spot at first, but then they let the people who are responsible for the children, they let them sway their interest in when they were interested in the home. They let them sway them into thinking, oh, this person has something to do. Oh, I saw this man walking in the street. Come on, guys. These parents had these close friends go with them on this vacation, and you don't think that they were like, oh my God, she was in there and she wasn't breathing. What am I going to do? And they all collaborated a story. They might hate each other today and don't even talk to each other because they probably like, man, I had to lie for you because you were being not a good parent and I had to lie for you. Just leave me alone for the rest of your life. Don't talk to me. I did what you wanted me to do. Goodbye. And the Mcanns just had a lot of people on their side, and that's how they got away with it. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I don't care who doesn't believe me or just look at the evidence. Dogs are smart. They smell stuff. They know everything. They know a lot more than we do when it comes to this and when it comes to this. They can hear very well. You put them out in the woods and you can't tell what's going on. They'll tell you what's going on if it's something out there that's going to get you. I'm from the South. I know, honey. We have deers and bears. You take your dog out there, he's going to tell you, don't go this way. I'm not going. You can walk all you want to. That dog going to sit right there. You can choke his neck. He's not going to go. And that should tell you, don't go that way. So if they can do that and you telling me these dogs are actually trained to find bodily fluids and blood, and they actually sniffed the mom's pants and smelt bodily fluids and found some, and they sniffed the dad's clothes and didn't find anything. If you look, I want you guys to go and look at these dogs with this Mcann case. These dogs knew what they were doing. They were not confused. I looked at them. I studied them. They walked up to her stuff and smelt it. And one dog, his ears were so pretty, he was just barking to let them know, hey, it's some stuff over here. And then he went to the dad's clothes, did not bark at all, did not do anything. And then he went to another area and he just went off. And that tells you that those dogs have won awards and they've actually helped find, predators for dead people. That tells you that they know exactly what they're doing. For the Mcanns to say, ask the dogs, you ask your dogs. That's what I want to tell them. Because y'all the dogs. Y'all left those kids in the house and y'all were over across the street having wine and just having a good old time in a place that you have no idea about. Far away from home. You're talking about I left the door open. You made sure you let the police know that, and you made sure you let the newscasters know that. Oh, I left the door open, so it'd be easy access. If I was a murderer, I would have said the same thing. I would continue to tell you that. I would tell you that every time you talk to me. I would tell you that every time you spoke to me about the case, because I want to put that little detail in there to make you think that somebody went in my house and they didn't. Nobody went in there. Like they said, on the windowsill, whose fingerprints was on the windowsill? Miss Mcann's. Who did the cadaver dogs sniff and found bodily fluids on their clothes? Miss Mcann. So evidently between this child, Miss Mcann, something happened, and Mr. Mcann and Miss Mcann covered it up. They did not cover it up the same day. They moved that child around in that house until police got off them a little bit, and then in 28 days they rented a vehicle, or they bought a vehicle, put that girl in the back of that vehicle, and took her somewhere where we will never be able to find her. They got all these funds and go find me, this and that. They pay their mortgage off, but still there's no Madeline. I'm going to end this video tonight with this. I talk about a lot of things on my channel, but the most important things to me are people that are missing, people that are found and need to tell their story, people that died at the hands of other people, mysteries that cannot be solved of people disappearing and dying. And it's not because I'm weird. It is because I want to know, why did this happen to this person? What psycho decided that they were God and they were going to just do this? Whatever God you believe in, doesn't matter. There is a higher power. And I just want to know, who told them that they had the right to take somebody's life? Or had the right to take somebody and wait and then bring them back. But as you know, it's just on the case. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I always put my hand up there.